Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. I want sugar. Welcome to episode 192, Moderation versus Quitting. Well, hello everybody. How you doing? Let's see. We're a week into September. Are your kids back in school? How's that going? So far so good here. We didn't have a bus for the first few days for the older two, but that's been worked out. And we are figuring out sports for the public school sports for the first time in our family, and it's it's something. I don't think I realized what it all entailed. It's like, oh yeah, we want our kids to be in sports. And so we are like, you have to pick a sport. And then they pick these sports. And, that's really where it ended in our mind. We're like, sports are good for you. We didn't really think about, what does that entail for us, right? So we are navigating the whole ride shares and sport practice schedules and away games and how we get home from that and cancellations and all the stuff. So it's a new time period in the whole Mascenik household, and we're embracing it, and we're willing to work through the discomforts of changing our schedules and having all new evening routines. I'm used to a very peaceful, quiet, early evening, and that is being shifted. And so it's interesting. So we're eating dinner later as a family. I'm definitely not in my pajamas at 5:30, my majams, like I like to call them, because I got to pick up kids and all that stuff. So anyway, stay tuned for updates on that. But so far, so good. Our middle child made the cheer team, and our oldest child made the field hockey team. So we're very excited about all that. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you all today about moderation versus quitting drinking. And everybody wants to know, what I recommend all the time. I actually got a message, and I'll read it to y'all, from a concerned, follower, listener. And she wrote, I'm glad that you have a thriving business. This message is from a recovering alcoholic of 14 years. I just think that as someone that is a true alcoholic and needs medical attention, a course to drink less is not going to help! ! Alcoholism kills many people and almost myself. So I truly hope you screen your clients thoroughly. My opinion is it could just be very, very misleading to someone really needs to stop drinking, not drinking less. And, I don't really enjoy receiving these messages, to be honest, but actually I think it's helpful because obviously there can be some confusion about how I help people stop over drinking. And I think this is an opportunity to explain a little bit more about what it is I do. And I am of the believer, and this is just me based on my own experience and from coaching several hundred women to change their relationship with alcohol, that the decision on what you do with alcohol, whether you quit or you keep it in your life or somewhere in between, needs to come from you. Not my advice on you should quit drinking or you should, only drink on the weekends or you should do this and you should do that. The real changes that become permanent with your relationship with alcohol need to be your decisions. And this is why I have a program called Stop Over Drinking and Start Living. It's based on my own situation and how I overcame an over-drinking problem that I had for over 20 years. I learned the reasons why I was drinking. So no matter what path you choose, you have to figure that out, because if you don't and you just focus on not drinking or drinking less and planning and avoiding situations or whatever that is, it's going to be an uphill battle, because we're not drinking like in a silo. It's not just the alcohol, right? It's what's happening in our lives and internally, our own suffering, our own patterns, our own past and histories and thought patterns and things that play into this habit and use of alcohol that we have. So if we don't do that back end work to understand why we're over drinking, then it's going to be painful. Let's just say that. So I'm not telling people to just drink less. I mean, I guess if you've been listening to this podcast, you understand that. But my experience is that when I did that back end work and I looked at the reasons why I was drinking and looked at my feelings and got in tune with myself and learned how to interrupt these patterns by processing urges and understanding my feelings and interrupt that automatic behavior, I actually did drink for a little while. Like I took a longer break at the beginning to really get in there and understand myself so much and unwire a lot of this stuff. And then I drank moderately, like, not very much. I didn't have overdrinks. I didn't get drunk or anything like that. And then I still kept looking at the why. Why am I using this? How do I feel? What is this doing for me? And I kept very much aware of the role that alcohol was playing in my life and how it made me feel. And at the end of that was about a 6-month time period, I came to the conclusion on my own that I didn't want alcohol in my life anymore. Okay? Had somebody told me from the beginning that that's what I needed to do, or that's what I should do, or the only way you're going to be free from this is if you quit, I would have ignored them. Okay, I would not, because I don't like being told what to do. Sometimes I battle with my own rules for myself, but especially from other people. And you all might feel the same way, right? Like you can resonate with this sort of like you have to quit and this recovery messaging and all that stuff. If that's not helping you drink less or give it up, then that's not the right path for you, right? And we know that when we aren't having the results that we want to have around our relationship with alcohol. So getting back to what this person is saying about it could be dangerous, my main message about how I help people is you get to decide what kind of relationship with alcohol works for you. And when you give yourself the time and space to explore that by taking breaks, by planning drinks, sometimes people come in and they want to quit and they want to work on the back end stuff so that they can keep a no relationship with alcohol. That's absolutely fine too. But most of the people come in, they recognize they need to change their relationship with alcohol, okay? And they want a safe place to do that without judgment. That's what I'm offering. You guys get to decide what you put on your weekly drink plan. I encourage you to look at how you're making those decisions. I coach you on making those decisions. I help you evaluate when you do have an overdrink so you can understand that. And so by the end of the 6 months in the program, you have fully explored what this is like for you and you can come to your own conclusions about it. A lot of people go through this process and they're like moderating at the beginning and they're still feeling anxious and they're still having a lot of overdrinks. So like, you know what, I think I just need to take a break and feel what that, and like really get deep here without having all this distraction, right? Because even with 1 or 2 drinks, it makes my anxiety levels higher, or I eat more than I want to, or I just don't feel good, right? So they decide to take a longer break to kind of really clean that up and get over urges and things like that and experience more of the patterns that they normally do, like vacations or weekends or social outings without alcohol, to get practice with that. And then they come to the conclusion after their longer term break is over that, you know what, I don't miss this. I want to keep going. Like I just have concluded that alcohol isn't good for me. That's so, so powerful when that comes from your own work, okay? And your own decision, right? A lot of times AA fails people because they have to claim that they are powerless over alcohol and they have to declare how many days they've had since they've had a drink, and they have to start over if they have a failure. Like, it doesn't really support the exploration part of it. It's just like, this is the way you have to do this program. And that doesn't work for a lot of people. It also works for a lot of people. It works for a lot of people. So I don't want to discount that at all. But if that kind of hard and very structured, you follow this path or you won't be successful, doesn't feel right for you, then it's up to you to explore what does work for you. The other thing that I want to say about what this woman wrote to me was about is, I believe that y'all are smart, okay? And that you can make your own decisions. And that I have a vetting process for people that come into the program. Like, you have to fill out an application, you have to share with me what your patterns are and all that stuff. And I say, if you're physically addicted to alcohol and you can't function without drinking during the day or whatever that is, then this probably isn't a good fit. You need to go get off alcohol safely before you can come into coaching. Coaching isn't, I don't have medical credential or anything like that, and it's all done online. So you need to be in a place where you can comfortably say that is appropriate for you, right? But I think that you guys are smart and capable, and most of my clients are like super high achieving, and they've done a lot of amazing things in their life. So I assume that they know what's best for them. I don't know what's best for you guys. You guys know what's best for you because it's your life. You're the one living it, right? So I can't tell you that it's better for you to not drink or to moderate. I just can't, because I don't know your internal problems and your internal struggles. Yes, through coaching, we can uncover that and I can show you your patterns, but you know what's best for you. And I trust that the women who invest into this program and come take my classes or take my free advice or whatever it is, know themselves and know what's good for them, right? If you are somebody that, has really struggled with alcohol and you've lost your job and, deteriorating family relationships and you've lost everything and you are like really, really bottom level, and you're addicted to alcohol, and you hear one of my podcasts or you see something on Facebook that says, hey, drink less, right? Instead of quitting, does that give that person a pass to give themselves a drink? I don't know. That is up to that person to decide what is best for them. And we're not lying to ourselves here. Part of this is like being totally honest with what alcohol is doing in our lives and how it's making us feel and how it's preventing us from doing the things that we want to do. And if you're not willing to be honest about that, then I think we're self-selecting out of listening to my podcast and joining my program, right? It doesn't work unless you're honest with yourself about what this is, right? So if you're at that level, if it's dangerous for you to drink and if you have one drink, it totally unravels everything in your life, then choose not to drink. But I can't make that decision for you. Even AA programs can't do that. We can't control people, right? People are adults and they are making the best decisions for themselves. So I just wanted to address it. And I'm actually thankful, if you're listening to this podcast, if you wrote that to me, that you did write that in, because I get that a lot. And I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that I'm not a proponent of moderation or quitting. I'm a proponent of you. I believe in you, and I believe that you know what's best for you. And my program gives you an opportunity to figure that out, right? Sometimes we may not even know yet. And to come into a safe place, to not be judged, to explore some of these deeper rooted issues around alcohol can be very, very freeing for people, especially women, to know that they're not alone, to know that ultimately it is up to them and nobody else can do it but y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to support you and coach you and guide you and tell you how to line up your bat across the plate and take some swings and give yourself an opportunity to be successful instead of being scared of failing. But ultimately, it's got to come from you, right? And you're the best person that knows you. And so those decisions that you make are the best ones for you. And we know that they're the right decisions for us because we make them. And then what we can do after, instead of having hindsight and being hard on ourselves, I shouldn't have scheduled those drinks or I shouldn't have done this. No. Okay, so let's look at the decision we did make And going forward, life coaching is all about going forward and making better decisions next time, right? And having awareness. You're like, okay, so that didn't really work out for me that well this time, so maybe I'll do something different next time, right? It's about learning from that misstep or that, failure to, okay, let me try this next time. Okay? It's how we're successful in all areas of our life. Like same thing with like building a business or, learning a new skill. You actually have to go out there and try some things and flop around like a fish out of water and have some failures in order for you to learn from that and to move forward. And that includes learning how to stop over drinking in the way that's right for you. So, anyway, the topic of today was moderation versus quitting. And it was kind of a tricky subject, right? But my stance on that is that you're the best person to decide that, and I can help you achieve whatever it is that you want with your relationship with alcohol. But you gotta have to start trusting yourself that you're the best person that knows what that is, and being totally honest about your relationship with alcohol. And we can do that together inside the program if you want to. Or you just continue listening to the podcast and writing down all the things and apply it. I know a lot of women who have changed their relationship with alcohol permanently by just listening to the podcast. So I'm rooting for you no matter what, no matter how you come in, whether through the program or listening to the podcast or just reading my emails or taking my classes, whatever it is, I am supporting you and your decision around what's best for you. All right, my friends, I love you so much. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye. Oh, and if you want to join the program, you can. So just click through in the link. It's angelamascenik.com/join, SODSL. Again, that's angelamascenik.com/join, JOINSODSL. You should come join. If you've been thinking about it, we're having a lot of fun in there. We're unraveling this stuff. I have all the program materials outlined for you. So you just come in and everything's handled and I've got you. And you can have my brain and my advice, coaching and supporting you as frequently as you want. All right, my friends. Talk to you soon. Bye.